My name is John Brayman, and I'm the chair of orthopedics at Henry Ford Health in Detroit. It's my honor to be one of the co-champions for the Ted Parsons pillar. The Ted Parsons pillar is incredibly important to lots of folks in orthopedics because of Ted's outsized impact on our field. Ted was an incredible leader with gravitas that extended past what most folks bring to a room. And that presence belied a calm and intense internal clock. Ted was a powerful leader in the military, and his given choice to serve others has transcended his entire career, from the very beginning where he chose to serve his country to his decision to come to Henry Ford Health and serve the people of the city of Detroit, and his continuous giving back as a man of great faith to his church after his retirement. Ted's incredible willingness to give back is what forms the foundation of this pillar. His generosity, his humility, and his overwhelming desire to serve others. It is with great honor and pride that I am one of the co-champions for this incredible honor for him.
Hi, I'm Joe Hogler. I'm an orthopedic trauma surgeon at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, and I am honored and privileged to recognize Ted Parsons as a pillar of the orthopedic profession through the American Orthopedic Association. If you were to look up what a great leader is, an educator, Ted would check all those boxes multiple times. He fits all of the standards that we expect from a leader, department chair, and educator. Starting with patient care, he chose the profession of going into orthopedic oncology, having tough conversations with patients about difficult diagnoses that they may have. And he always spent a lot of time with his patients and their families, answering all of their questions. From an education standpoint, this is where I really got to know Ted for the first time. When I was a resident at Henry Ford, he wasn't working with us yet. He was still working down in Texas. And he would come up every fall and do the orthopedic in-training tumor review for us. He also did this through the Miller Review course for fifth-year residents who were taking their written exams. The Parsons picks, I think, is the reason why I passed my boards. He made tumors easy to understand and at least be able to answer questions on a test. However, when I got into my attending status, I would still go over to his clinic, which was right next door, and ask him about anything that looked funny on an x-ray. But let me tell you, if you didn't have some sort of idea what you were going to ask him and what you thought it was, you're going to catch a mouthful. He was always a great educator. When I was a fifth-year resident, he came through, and that's when he was interviewing to be a chair at Henry Ford Hospital. And I had the privilege of picking him up from his hotel room to bring him to the hospital for his interviews. And I got to know him a little bit on a personal level, which was outstanding. We did drive past the street that I lived on as a resident, and I knew I'd be selling my house. I offered it up to him on a discount, but he never took me up on that offer. And then while I was away for fellowship, he'd ended up taking the job. So when I came back to Henry Ford after fellowship, he was the first chairperson that I ever had, and remained the only boss that I had until I was 15 years into practice when he retired. He was a great leader and mentor. He shows this through what he called being a servant leader, working to help others. And he demonstrated this on a personal level through multiple facets. One, he was a leader through his church. He was a leader for his family. He served our country through the United States Air Force, not only as going to the Air Force Academy, but then he was a career orthopedic surgeon in Texas. He was also a leader at work, not only in his position as department chair, but as a mentor to all of us who were in his department, residents and attendings included. His knowledge was unbelievable. He remembers everything. He remembers every patient. He remembers every experience. There was no getting anything past him. And one of the things that he taught me that I remember the most when it comes to being a leader is that there is always two sides to every story, and the truth lies somewhere in between. Everybody knows that as a leader in the multiple facets that we have, people come to you when something doesn't go right, and you can't always take that as the truth, and you have to get both sides of the story. And like I said, somewhere in the middle is usually where the truth lies. He was a great listener. He defined what an open door policy is to his office. My office is down the hall, and I can't tell you how many hours I would go spend at his office discussing things from work to life in general. He was fantastic about that. So Ted, congratulations on being a pillar of the orthopedic profession. I can't think of anyone else who deserves it more than you. Thank you for being my boss. Thank you for being a leader of our department and our profession. And most of all, thank you for being a friend.
I'm Ted Parsons, Chair Emeritus at Henry Ford Health in Detroit, Michigan, and I am deeply touched by this recognition from the American Orthopedic Association and grateful to those that facilitated this completely unexpected honor. I joined the AOA in 2002, about the time that the Academic Orthopedic Society was merged into the AOA. Since that time, I had the privilege to serve in various capacities. I was a member of the Academic Leadership Committee and the Young Leaders Committee. I served as chair of the Resident Leadership Committee and the Leadership Development Committee, as the ambassador for the inaugural APEX Executive Leadership course, on the Executive Committee for a few years, and ultimately as the 133rd president of the AOA, which was one of the highlights of my academic career. The AOA provided me with a plethora of professional opportunities, including the Kellogg and Booth Leadership Series, CORD, networking and learning from some of the greatest and best in our profession, and many outstanding opportunities to educate the rising generation of stars in orthopedic surgery. I am delighted to recognize three great colleagues that championed this opportunity and made it possible: Doctors John Brayman, Joe Hogler, and Bill Mitsouras. I met John, who currently is chair at Henry Ford, over a decade ago, not surprisingly through the AOA, while working together on various committees while he was at the University of Minnesota. It was clear to me then that he was a considerable talent in academic medicine, and I have come to know him as an outstanding and compassionate leader, teacher, researcher, and sports medicine surgeon, and also head team surgeon for the Detroit Tigers, who has led the program at Ford to even greater heights during his tenure. Joe Hogler was finishing his residency at Ford when I arrived as chair in 2007. And after he completed a trauma fellowship in Ohio, I was fortunate enough to convince him to come back and join our faculty. What an outstanding addition he became to our department, helping put together an excellent trauma team and becoming a recognized leader and educator himself. Joe served as head of the trauma service and ultimately was appointed department vice chair and a director in the operating room. Bill Mitsouras joined the Henry Ford faculty following his sports medicine fellowship at the Cleveland Clinic the same year I arrived in 2007. I immediately recognized his talent as an educator, leader, researcher, and superb sports medicine surgeon. He has served as program director and as chief of sports medicine in the department. Bill and I essentially grew up together, if you will, in the health system and had lots of experiences together. And he has excelled as an academician and as a leader in the world of sports medicine. He currently also serves as the head team surgeon for the Detroit Pistons and clearly is doing a great job given the year that the team is having. Bill served as my program chair for the 2021 annual AOA meeting during that challenging COVID year and was superb in that role. All three of these exceptional individuals are leaders in their own right. They are valuable and contributing members of the AOA community and to our specialty of orthopedic surgery. I am indebted to all three of them far beyond their role in facilitating this honor. I am deeply moved by this pillar recognition, and frankly, I was incredulous when John Brayman informed me about this designation. I am truly grateful and consider this the highest honor of my professional career, although I honestly question whether I deserve to be included amongst the great surgeons that have thus been honored. It is truly humbling, to say the least. I would like to first and foremost thank my dear wife, Catherine, who has supported me and stood by me lo these many years. I know it was not easy being married to a busy academic orthopedic surgeon, but she managed it with grace and compassion. I'm also grateful to my 3 wonderful kids who similarly put up with a busy dad who too often was not as available as might be desired. And it was Catherine who made the difference for our family. I am grateful to the many outstanding colleagues and partners I have had over the years, both in the Air Force and at Henry Ford. No man or woman is an island, and without exceptional people to surround us, we are far less capable and successful. I'm a better person for having served with such great individuals. A special thanks specifically to all those who contributed to this pillar designation. Your contributions will make an enormous difference in the rising generation of orthopedic leaders. I wish to thank the many, many students, residents, and fellows with whom I've had the chance to interact over the years, many of whom are now leaders themselves. The chance to teach them and to engage with them was invigorating and made my professional journey so much more rewarding. I also wish to express gratitude to a few individuals by name, recognizing the influence they had on my career. Doctors Mike Wilson, Vince Deeney, Dan Hinken, Tom Quibola, and Ken Ya, amongst others, were great role models during my early Air Force years. Doctors Henry Mankin, Dempsey Springfield, Mark Gebhardt, and Bill Enneking all had significant impact on my training and practice as a tumor surgeon. I am indebted to each of them. Thank you to the AOA, the many members and leaders, especially Doctors Peter Stern, Terry Light, and Terry Peabody. But frankly, there are far too many others to name them all individually that mentored me, served as role models, and helped shape my professional career. You will likely never know how influential you have been in my life. And lastly, but certainly not least, a special thanks to Kristen, Jodine, and the entire AOA staff for the great work and support they provide to the members and provided me personally over the years. It was an honor to serve with them. Thank you all for this wonderful privilege. I am truly and sincerely grateful.